It also provides us with a peak in global liquidity in September 2024, which we can predict. Consequently, we will witness a high this year, rest assured. The market peaks at different times. This is the rate of change from one year to the next. The point of negative liquidity does not materialize until December 2025. Our model predicts substantial further gains through 2025, when thus a topping pattern in Bitcoin, and by extension crypto, will be visible sometime in the second half of the year. Many see the current stage of the cryptocurrency bull market as a watershed moment that will determine the future of the industry and the value of crypto assets. Major Wall Street firms like BlackRock have been the subject of conjecture regarding possible market manipulation and price suppression due to recent price swings. Most notably, Bitcoin's decline to $67,000. They were right to be worried about these investment behemoths getting into the Bitcoin market. Coincident with ETFs bringing in tens of billions of dollars, Bitcoin has remained stuck in a tight range for weeks. Still, a large number of industry watchers are bullish on the business and the prospects for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency values beyond 2024. Cryptocurrency values, according to Real Vision COO and founder Raoul, would experience a structural increase in 2024 and beyond, with current swings being viewed as irrelevant. As central banks keep printing money to avoid economic collapse, Powell stresses that a major, frequently ignored component is the inevitable rise in global liquidity. According to him, it was in 2008, when central banks stepped in to stop a total collapse of the global economy, that things changed irrevocably for the better in terms of asset values and the economy as a whole. Powell claims that the balance sheets of central banks drove a liquidity cycle consisting of 4 stages: expansion, peak, contraction, and trough. A new liquidity cycle, in his opinion, has started. Crypto asset prices will skyrocket and keep on doing extraordinarily well all the way into 2025 as we transition from expansionary to peak liquidity conditions, which is expected to happen around September 2024. This is ISM's outlook for the future, which predicts an upturn in the business cycle. The present uptick in the ISM is the reason cyclical equities and commodities are on the rise. On the other hand, we can predict it. On top of that, it shows us that September 2024 is the pinnacle of global liquidity. So this year, a crest will appear. Market peaks are not the same thing. This rate of change is measured annually. The point of negative liquidity does not materialize until December 2025. This is why I believe this cycle will continue from a point in time after 2022 until at the very latest 2025. The crypto markets typically close in December, though they may close earlier. We need to stay vigilant about that. However, in essence, this is the way we anticipate liquidity to manifest. Do not anticipate flawless performance. Although I do not intend for it to be flawless, it should provide you with a good indication. A huge liquidity cycle is also unnecessary. These things won't go up in 2020. The markets will do their magic as long as liquidity is positive and remains strong. Using the log channel of global liquidity, those projections don't appear unrealistic when applied to the entire code. It appears to be completely reasonable. It is now possible that it will not reach 2 standard deviations. As you did in 2017, perhaps it's 1 standard deviation. Still remember the cryptocurrency market? That was the crypto market in 2013, with a standard deviation of 1 in total anarchy. So to reiterate, enormous liquidity isn't necessary liquidity is. Then that's the direction we're leaning towards. We will observe the outcome. Obviously, that lines up with Bitcoin's log channel. By the end of the year, it would put our forecast at about 270,000. Once more, I beg you not to cling to my prediction. Well, buddy, I'm predicting 270,000 for this year. My intention is not to do that. For your benefit, I'm providing some background information and attempting to persuade you that yes, there will be a significant increase before the year ends. Can you tell me the exact amount? Will it be 250,000? Is there a medium ground? You have no idea. Personally, I couldn't care less. Also, you shouldn't. The public is overly preoccupied with predictions. When the value of this asset is steadily increasing, in any case, it indicates that this year will be exceptionally strong, and we may plug in certain predictions. However, I dislike making these public since, once again, people will fail to put them in context. Ralph, how can you predict a Bitcoin headline worth $400,000? They'll ask. Yes, that is false. Using our model is what I mean. We anticipate substantial further gains until 2025, after which credit liquidity begins to decline. Thus, a topping pattern in Bitcoin and by extension crypto will be visible sometime in the second half of the year. On top of that, it implies a robust one. It will still be an excellent year, even if you have my goals, not goals in the model's analysis. Another indicator of the altcoin season, the Ethereum Bitcoin cross, is driven by Fed liquidity. The fact that ETH began to bottom out relative to Bitcoin around the time we entered the halving in 2020 makes this whole thing quite intriguing. It took some time to get to base, but once there, it soared throughout the whole following year. Ethereum then. The remainder of space is so beginning to speed significantly. As for the altcoin market valuation, it will reach an all-time high sometime in 2024. I can tell you that this chart is going to enter the banana zone, where you will have a blast. During this time, people go completely bonkers. Additionally, please keep in mind my regulations regarding the usage of leverage. Keep the top 3 or 5 tokens by market capitalization. Never risk more than 10% of your wealth on an out-of-the-norm venture. Exercise caution when venturing out. Ignore this. This is a blessing, but you can ruin it by being selfish, succumbing to fear of missing out, and doing foolish things. Definitely not. Use your 10% to enjoy an old coin season if you're in the mood to have a good time. You never know, it could be worth 10 times as much. The likelihood of you ending up with a lot of humiliating items whose value decreases with time is high. That's how things operate, but I'll take care of your Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. All right, let's break down crypto summer into its most basic components. Take a look at this seasonal chart. It was a wonderful spring, and now spring is green. A lot of progress is made in the summer. Last year's autumn was a real challenge. We were given a delayed cycle. That sort of double toppy style was really out of the ordinary, if you recall. Fall 2017 and 2013 were clearly more usual. Therefore, the outcome of this one is uncertain. In my opinion, it follows a pattern similar to 2013 and 2017, but we will have to see how the odds pan out. At the moment, though, we are in the summer, the easy year. Thus, we ought to be so distraught that we forget about it and allow the benefits to build up. We will begin to enter the banana zone in the very near future, perhaps within the next month or month and a half. When you reach the banana zone, this is the result. The most enchanting aspect of this being the greatest macro deal ever is this point, and it's coming. Things become really wild. Is it going to have a generic appearance? What the heck? There have been a few. Completely insane. Like the last cycle, others were more challenging, but that's par for the course when we enter altcoin season in the summer and autumn. Things get incredibly thrilling.